Let's learn how to write to a file. To write to a file, you start with opening the file with the write mode. One of the common mistakes is to try to open the file with the read mode and then expect to write in a normal way. The file has a method that's called write. In the last video we learned about the read method. Now we have the write method. One of the first things to know about this method, it doesn't add a new line to the end of the line. So when you write something like hey your name, the file output will be the following: hey your name, that way. By default, if the file doesn't exist, it's going to create it. But however, if the path is invalid or you have some security permission issues, definitely it will not be created. What if there is already a file in the content there available, like output1.txt here? The file will be overwritten. It means that the old content will be removed and new content will be added. Actually, I guess the old file is removed and a new file is created, but it depends on the operating system. So this is the first thing about the write method. That's why if you would like to add a new line to the file, you have to add by yourself a \n. \n regardless of Windows or Linux. We will come back to this later. So now if you have this lines list, you can iterate over every line here and then write it with the \n. It will be added in a proper way. What if I would like to append to a file? Append mean do not remove the file, do not overwrite its content. Append mean to add after it. So let's write this file here and use the mode A for append. Now let's run this code twice. In the first run, it will have this two lines, line 1, line 2 here. In the second run, it will append these two new lines here. So the append mode is adding to the file content. One of the common mistakes is to use a W command instead of A command for a file that is important for you. Then you lose the old file. You can use a with statement to read and write in the same time, or even to create multiple files. So to do that, you do the following: with open something, then comma, another thing. I could write both of them here on the single line, but if you would like to print both of them to divide the statement to two lines, then you can use this slash. This is Python syntax to separate such a statement on two lines, and many other statements. Again, you have here an input file that's reading from it, another output file that you are writing for it. So we are reading here, reversing the content, writing it here. Observe the following: write lines doesn't add \n. Write lines doesn't add \n. But we know that the lines here will have its own \n's. What if you would like the program to fail if the file already exists? So this is sometimes happen if you would like to make sure you're neither overwriting something nor appending to it. If you would like this case, you can use the X here. So X is it will create an error if exists. So let's say run this one for the first time. It works very well because there is no file output for the text. But in the second run, it will give you an error, file exists error, which means that the file already exists. It isn't good to mix reading and writing from the same file because it makes a problem. It might be doable with the R plus and W plus, so the plus here is mainly for that, but please avoid that. In the future also, I would like you to know there is something called seek functionalities. The seek allow you to move to the file in a specific position in it. So instead of reading from the first line, you can seek or move to a specific line. And this is an important functionality for the databases and all of this complicated code that is building complicated files behind the scene. If you had the chance to study a file structure course, then you should use the seek method to move inside the file. So the tip here is R plus and W plus mainly can be used for mixed reading and writing, but don't do that. One more thing here that I would like to say, I referred to it in the early slides, the os.linesib. Linesib is for line separator. If you try to import OS and print os.linesib, it will be \n for Linux, \r/n for Windows. So one thing here, one might think I would like, if I'm Windows coder, I should use os.linesib and add add it to my writings, or add \r/n. However, you shouldn't do that. Behind the scene, the conversion during reading and writing is handling for you the \r/n things for you. Eventually, what you will see and what you will get in your Python program will be something that has only \n. If you are writing something and you are just appending to your statement \n, behind the scene, this \n will be converted to \r/n for Windows. So, for example, if you are in a writing mood, stick to the \n. Never try to add \r/n or try to add the OS line sib. It's good to use the OS line sib if there is some useful use case for you, but otherwise, we typically don't. That's all.